Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, and I'm responding to something Ben Shapiro said in his pretty good video. I mean, I've only listened to 7 minutes and 28 seconds of it, but those first 7 minutes and 28 seconds were pretty good. The abortion fanatics prepare for the apocalypse, and the link's down there. And I'm also providing the link to the video about what exactly it is abortion fanatics are doing to prepare if Roe v. Wade falls. And it's kind of related to this. Ben Shapiro said that for the abortion proponents, outcome for the woman is the only thing that matters. They don't care about outcome for the baby. That's mistaken. Outcome for the woman, they would prefer that she get what they consider a positive outcome. They would prefer that she survive. They would prefer that she not be injured. They would prefer that she get her education or her job or go on vacation or whatever it is that she's snuffing junior to accomplish. But it's like the sprinkles on a banana split, okay? It is not the key thing that they are after here. The abortion lobby, you have to get, it's an unholy alliance. There are a lot of people that each kind of have their own agenda, and they've decided that they are going to unify and, have that strength and unity. And you can kind of go back to when the National Organization for Women was first being founded. There was really a strong disagreement about what stand they should take on abortion, because women are not more likely to be in favor of abortion than men are. If you look, women are actually less likely to favor abortion than men are, but women's devotion to which side they take is a lot stronger. A woman will be much, much more strongly opposed to abortion or much, much more strongly enthused about abortion than a man is likely to be. So it was very, very polarized. Women are more polarized than men when it comes to abortion. So you had this polarization, and they weren't able to figure out what was happening. And here comes the population control zealots. And they said, we'll underwrite your organization. We'll give you the big bucks if you paint this as a woman's rights issue and you take a strong stand for abortion rights, which, of course, they eventually started calling it choice instead of abortion. So that was the first official unholy alliance, was between I hate to use the term feminist because there's nothing woman celebrating about the idea that women's bodies are inherently faulty and they need surgical correction to be as good as a man. But what was called the feminists, there was that unholy alliance between these women who felt that abortion was this liberating thing that they wanted to get hold of, and the population control zealots who, want as many babies as possible to not be born. And then you add into that, here comes the Playboy Foundation. Now you can understand why the Playboy Foundation would be very enamored of abortion. Irresponsible men who don't want to pay child support. Okay. So already we've got these three factions together. We've got the abortion-leaning feminists who consider it this liberating thing that they can go about their sex lives the same as a man and have zero responsibility. Because the man still has to pay child support if she decides to have the baby. It's the woman who can 100% bail on this. The Playboy Foundation, which is basically men who want the woman to bail. Yeah, get rid of Junior. I don't want to pay child support. And the population control zealots. And then you start bringing in the eugenicists who, I watch the news once in a while. And, oh gosh, what country is this? Iceland is really proud that they have a virtually 100% rate of search and destroy prenatal testing to find kids with Down syndrome and snuff them before they draw breath. Okay, so there's these people who think that disabled people have no right to be here. And of course, you need abortion so you can identify them in the womb. And okay, so, and then we've got racists and elitists There are people who are for abortion for a wide variety of reasons. And then you get the profiteers. Wherever there's tragedy, there's vultures circling, and these are people who make their money from abortion. And that includes Planned Parenthood. They go, oh, it's only 3% of our services. Yeah, that's because you break it down piecemeal. That's like McDonald's saying that hamburgers are only a small percentage of what they sell, because if you buy a Happy Meal, they count the hamburger as one product, the French fries as one product, the drink as one product, and the toy as one product. And they go, look, hamburgers are only a fourth of what we do. It's that dishonest, okay? So they've got all these reasons for just wanting to push abortion. And do you see how the woman, there's only one group there for whom the women matter, and that's the hardcore feminists. And even they, when you push, it's bizarre. I've talked about this before. It's like once somebody gets the idea into their head that abortion is a good idea, the woman, she sort of becomes invisible. What happens to her no longer happens and no longer matters. So, the dreaded complication is not a dead woman. It's a live baby. The whole thing gets to be, you rape them, we scrape them. No fetus can beat us. It's this anywhere. And oh my gosh, Dr. Warren Hearn, a very high profile member of the National Abortion Federation, he's actually advocated that abortion should be mandatory unless the woman can convince her doctor that her circumstances are what he considers optimal for having a baby. So, the doctor gets to decide, do you have this baby or not? Depending on, what's your income? What's your marital status? What's the relationship like? What's your health? Let's do some prenatal tests on this baby. Oops, this one has club foot. Seriously. And this is a man who considers human beings a cancer on the planet. So he's also one of those population control zealots. So you've got all these things coming together. It's the only thing that all these people agree on is that the abortion has to happen. Okay? There is so much evidence that abortion clinics lie to women. They use high pressure sales tactics. And if you look at the normal psychology of pregnancy, there's kind of mental states that a woman goes through. There's this kind of unreality where the fact that she's pregnant doesn't feel real to her. There's the pregnancy, the idea that a baby is going to show up is real, but the reality of the baby inside her isn't real. And this has been known for well over 50 years. And it's been known for well over 50 years that you just kind of walk, if she's in this thing like, I need to bail, she goes into flight or fight, and, I want to bail, I want an abortion, get rid of this, get me out of this. They've known for well over 50 years that you just walk her through that. She'll be fine. She'll come out on the other side, and she'll be really glad that she didn't abort this baby. That's part of why the abortion lobby will say out of one side of their mouth, oh, we have to have abortions as early as possible because they're safer then. And saying that, it doesn't matter, 9 months pregnant, do an abortion, perfectly safe, no problems, safer than a shot of penicillin. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. The real reason there's two reasons they want the abortion done as early as possible. One is that every single day that passes is a day that woman might bond with her baby and change her mind. You want to make the sale right now. Any salesman wants to make the sale right now. There is not a person on earth who sells anything for a living that's like, okay, go home, think about this, come back in a day or two. They want the sale now. And the other thing is that a lot of doctors are really squeamish about doing the later abortions. They don't mind the suction abortions. Everything just kind of sucks out, goes into a jar. And then they make some poor frontline clinic staff, like the receptionist or the hand holder, or, somebody, dump it out and count, okay, 2 arms, 2 legs, a spine, a skull. Doctor doesn't have to look at that. When they get a little further along, you're having to pull that baby out in chunks. You're seeing the arms, the legs, and sometimes you pull out and this little dead face is staring at you. So a lot of doctors get squeamish. They do not want to do it after a certain point in pregnancy. So if you want to sell that abortion, you need to get her in before she passes that point where your doctor's just like, I'm not going to touch that. I have to sleep at night. So then you get to the issue of safety. Okay? If you insist that abortion is practiced safely, that cuts into your profit margins. Okay, that's why you get clinics reusing disposable instruments. That's why you get them hiring unqualified staff. That's why these abortion clinics are such hellholes. They want to keep their overhead down as low as possible. They get as much money coming in as possible. And of all medical procedures, abortion is the only one where it's like, yeah, whatever. You don't have to show that this is something that you expect to benefit the patient. There's informed consent, but that informed consent is just to cover their butts. So when they screw it up, they say, well, you can't sue. We told you might get a perforated uterus and a perforated colon and wind up pooping through a hole in your side for the rest of your life. Yeah, it's legalese. It's there to protect them. That's why they hate true informed consent. That's why they hate pro-life pregnancy centers. So woman can get injured. The abortion happened. That's what matters. Woman winds up distraught and committing suicide. The abortion happened. Woman winds up in a coma. The abortion happened. The outcome for the woman is the sprinkles on the banana split. It's nice. It's pretty, but it's purely cosmetic. It is not the key factor. The key factor is this unholy alliance that have decided that abortions need to happen. And as long as they're happening, it doesn't matter whether the woman wants the abortion. Doesn't matter if she's browbeaten into it. Doesn't matter if she survives. And I know of 2 cases that I can name off the top of my head, Marla Cardamone and Allegra Roseberry, where these women were browbeaten and lied to get them to abort wanted babies. Both these women died. Both these women aborted perfectly healthy babies that they'd been told were doomed. So, it wasn't the outcome for her they cared about. It's the abortion has to happen. Full stop. The woman getting what they consider a positive outcome is purely cosmetic. It's nice if you can get it, but it's not necessary.